Ready. Play.
Probably the biggest, definitely the biggest one is going to be Cerundolo against Sinner, because whereas at the beginning of the week we said that Jannik Sinner will have a pretty tough opening 3 rounds draw in Rome, it kind of eased up on him today with Jesper de Jong, especially with Jesper struggling physically later on. But now this is over, right? Now, in terms of, obviously, I'm not saying that Yannick's run is over. Maybe I am. Let's see. I'm going to tell you in a couple of minutes. But it's over in terms of, bed of roses type of draw. No, this is where it gets heavy, and he's playing one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where it gets really serious. This is where we see where Sinner's level really is at on clay and such. He looked good, all things considered, in his first two matches. A bit of a wobble at the end of the second set in his first round, and then here today he had the two break lead. Jesper gets it back. Jesper also got injured in the third set, even though Jannik was probably going to cruise to that anyway. So I think here's where we really see what how ready Sinner is to challenge the best players right now on clay. Because Cerundolo, like, this is the most consistent level I've seen for him for 3 months in a row. And he also, I know Sinner was not as good as he is now, but he also beat him in the fourth round here in Rome 2 years ago, right? 2023. So he does have something he can sort of draw on, and honestly, just
Pre-puke.
pre-puke. But still, like, Sinner was good that part of the year, right? Like, it's not like nothing, So, but I guess, yeah. I mean, where do you come out on it? Because if Sinner does win this match, you almost feel like he's not going to lose until at least the final.
I think he's in the final if he wins this match. Yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of what I'm thinking. For a number of reasons. I mean, some of the opponents that he's just going to face, he either owns them in the head-to-heads, or they're going to be pretty tired by the time they reach them. They reach him. So yeah, I do think this is the crucial matchup in terms of Yannick getting to the final or not. And I think Cerundolo, yeah, why? I mean, why not? He really is one of the best players on the planet right now. He's in such good form, and is playing with insane confidence. I just hope he doesn't fold the same way that he did against Alcaraz in Monte Carlo, because that was like kind of one of his weakest moments over the last 3-4 months. Hopefully this time, he's giving it a good go until the end, and whether that gives him the win or whether Yannick is still strong enough to prevail, I don't know, but yeah, to me seems like definitely Cerundolo has a shot here, which maybe in a couple of weeks won't be, true
Won't be
anymore.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, but right now, probably, I mean, you would imagine at least that Yannick will be a little bit more vulnerable than generally. That
Mhm.
said, yeah, I don't think his first 2 matches gave us that much in terms of actually telling us whether he is or not. But Cerundolo, yeah, I mean, it's the fourth round. He obviously still isn't that high in the rankings, but is he like one of the 5 best players in this event? Probably, at least the ones that are still here. Well, Joao, that's my worry as well. That unfortunately that might happen to him.
Yeah,
But
we've seen that even in this great part of the. I mentioned the consistency, but he's kind of also folded in some of these matches. Like against Grigor, he had the match point in Miami. Against Shelton, he probably definitely should have won that one in the Munich
yeah,
semis. You mentioned the Alcaraz one, and then also even against Ruud. I mean, he was like 3 for 18 on break points and had leads in both sets in the semis. So I don't know. I mean, I hope that the effort level and the motivation and the kind of the footwork stays on point, and that he's able to kind of compete super hard from first ball to last and give himself the best chance. Because yeah, this might be his best shot really all year when it
oh
comes
yeah,
to beating Yannick.
first tournament back. That's where you want to play the guy. Maybe the second
Yeah.
round would have been more ideal, but even the fourth round is still, at least raising your chances. By how much? Is it
Hmm.
enough? We'll see, but definitely at least improving his chances. Casper Ruud
Hmm.
was brought up in the chat by Matthew. I just kind of think that by the time he reaches Yannick in the quarters, he's probably going to be too dead after Madrid. But of course, he is one of the best clay court players on the planet. He's just won his first ATP 1000 today against Berrettini. Another retirement for Matteo. I think that completes the double, right? Both in Madrid and Rome. So it's not like Casper played the full match, but still over a set. It was pretty physical. in the long run, I think he's probably going to run out of steam at some point. But, at least with this, he keeps himself in decent shape probably. And yeah, now, of course, we'll be playing his forefront tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, Ruud still might be okay, maybe physically, just because of the retirement today. Maybe the extra day will help him. And then it depends on how much Sinner's quality comes into play if that ends up happening in the quarterfinal, and if it's Fran, if he's able to back it up.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.